Thank you, God, for Flame Monroe. What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with who Flame Monroe is a comedian that identifies as transgender, recently made an appearance on The Breakfast Club, and she was a part of Tiffany Haddish's We Ready Netflix series, which was like, 3 different comedy specials, 4, I think. It was Shantae Wayans, maybe even 5. Shantae Wayans, April Macy, Flame Monroe, Ida Rodriguez, and another woman, no disrespect, that I can't remember the name of. I'm just not familiar with her, and I don't remember her name, and I'm not going to research it right now. But she was funny. I watched, all of the little specials, and they were good. And Flame, I had wanted to see, because Flame identifies as transgender, and I heard about her years ago. Flame, for me, is like kind of an urban legend, and when I say urban, I don't mean that kind of urban, but just in general, like a urban legend you got to watch, because politically correct people get mad. They're like, a black legend. Well, yeah, in a sense, because she did do a lot of urban rooms, so I guess she's an urban legend, double entendre. For me, Flame has been somebody that I've always wanted to meet, always wanted to see, because we have a close mutual friend, Coco Van Cartier, who's absolutely legendary in the LGBT community, trans-specific community. Coco is one of the girls that she was my friend, has been my friend for so long, and was my friend way, way back in the day when I first lived here in Vegas, when I was just a young gal making my way in the city of lights. Just playing, that's Paris. But anyway, so we have a mutual friend, and I remember way back when I told Coco about doing stand-up comedy, she was like, oh, my good friend Flame is a stand-up comedian. She was on BET and everything. And then Henry Coleman told me about a story where Flame did BET Comic View, and Cheryl Underwood was the host, and Flame had said that Cheryl Underwood looked more like a man than she did, and it hurt Cheryl Underwood's feelings, and I searched it online and I couldn't find it. So if that's out there and somebody has it, please send it to me, because I searched and searched, but maybe there's something new out and I haven't seen it, or not new, but like somebody just posted it, because Flame is really starting to pop. So some trans people were upset because she said, that it was kind of confusing for some people, but I'm so used to accepting people, whatever they say, that I don't care how anybody identifies anymore. That's what pisses me off when people call me transphobic or stuff like that. It's like, I'm the least of any of that stuff. I am the person. I have seen so many of my trans friends with their wigs off. I have talked to so many of my female to male friends when either their hormone blockers were giving them problems, or they were trying to figure out what was going on with their steroids. And there's a lot that can happen there. And I'm that friend. I'm that friend that you can come to and tell anything. You can expose any part of yourself to me, and I'm not gonna judge you. I've seen plenty of the girls naked, so I know what that looks like in a lot of cases, and so I'm just not that friend. But I will also be very honest when I think that nowadays so many people are too sensitive, which is something that Flame said on The Breakfast Club. She talked about the sensitivity in the community, and she talked about the fact that, we want everybody to accept us. And she was saying that not about trans specific when she said that part. She was saying that about the LGBT community in general. It's like, we want everybody to accept us. And it's like, why do you want this acceptance? And I feel the same way in a lot of cases. I feel like I don't need everybody to accept me. I don't need everybody to say everything exactly the way I would say it for me to feel good about myself. And that's what I've tried to tell so many trans people online, and they tell me that I'm hateful and I'm not understanding. And it's like, I'm not understanding what? I'm not understanding why you want to get your feelings hurt by everything a stranger says. And in a lot of cases, do you think Flame Monroe was thinking about you personally? Do you think that it was that deep that she knew that you personally were listening to that interview on The Breakfast Club? Well, it makes it so that people don't respect my rights. And it's like, no, that's not what's making people not respect your rights. What's making people not respect your rights is the whininess coming from your own community. The amount of whining that gets done. Like, I get that there are certain issues that are important for trans people, but pick your battles. When you're upset because somebody does a Caitlyn Jenner joke on Saturday Night Live, and then you're upset because somebody misgenders somebody, and it's in some cases a complete accident, and everything gets treated like this victimization. At a certain point, society in general just gets like, what now, trans people? What now? What now are we supposed to all apologize for and all make you feel better about? And who else lives in this world? Because there's not another community, like even when it comes to people of color, and I know some people even have a problem with the term people of color, but when it comes to black people or Latinos, we don't get to fully control what people say about us. I'm gay and I'm Mexican. Could you imagine if every time somebody said something negative about Mexican or gay, I got up in arms about it? I'd do nothing but be upset all the time. Like, why do you want your life to be this montage of victimizations and hurt feelings? Like, why do you care this much? I personally don't care what a lot of people say about a lot of things, you know, and when I was watching some of the responses from trans people, mind you, on different message boards, because I saw it on Facebook. This is the reason I'm finally addressing it, because really it happened a couple days ago that she did this interview that I thought was a great interview. And so did a lot of the people that are watching, you know, a lot of people that were watching the Breakfast Club interview because it aired on YouTube as well. I'll include a link below. Just so you guys can check out the full interview. It's 30 minutes. It's fun. She made learning fun, which is what a lot of people say is one of the most effective things you can do if you're trying to teach anything, is if you make it fun. She was fun. She laughed. She joked. She had a sense of humor about herself. She teased the guys a little bit. Angela Yee wasn't there. It was just Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy. Angela Yee was probably on vacation or sick day, or I don't know. I don't think they addressed it, but she wasn't there, but she had fun with the guys. She was silly, and it was so great to watch an LGBT person, a trans person specifically, like be so much fun in a public forum and for so many people to see. And for me, I guess the reason I got upset is about people being so bothered by it was because I really finished watching that interview like, yes, we finally have a trans person that's willing to be fun, that's like the girls that I knew when I was coming up. Because like my friend Coco, who I've referenced, just a legendary trans woman, who I will point out did not agree with everything that Flame said and has been very open about that. But at the same time, she has been respectful in the way that she hasn't turned it into this whole like Flame hates trans people or Flame hates herself. She hasn't turned it into any of that. She's just been like, I don't agree with Flame. Like I said, she told me about her years and years ago, at least, I want to say 16, well, when I first started doing comedy, I said, so like 15, 14 years ago, you know, like, because maybe it was a year after I started that I caught back up with Coco or saw Coco. But either way, it's been years, and they've been friends for over 20 years. I've been friends with Coco for over 20 years. And it's like, they've been friends for so long that Coco just respectfully disagrees, but still moves about her life and doesn't have a problem with Flame over it, which is the way I think everybody should take it. It's just like, if anything, Flame talking about her truth and the way that she identifies and the way that she lives her life, it lets people know that we're not a monolith and that there are different opinions throughout the LGBT community and the trans community specifically. And I saw people questioning whether or not she was really trans because she did admit that she spends a lot of her day not in full, but you know, like what's being trans really? Because if she chooses not to wear hair and makeup all day long and sometimes paste her titties down or tape her titties down so that, you know, she can go to a PTA meeting, because she has 3 kids. And that's the reason she said that she said before she had kids, because she is a father, before she had kids, she used to live her life full-time as Flame. And then once she had kids, she just didn't want to make it any harder for them. And you can definitely understand that. To me, that's just being a good parent. And it doesn't mean that people that choose to live the way that they live, if they're trans people all the time, you know, are bad parents. I'm just saying, like, when you're willing to say, I will sacrifice this part of myself so that my kids can have it easier and not go through that kind of discrimination, I think that's a cool thing for a parent to do. And I think it's a very relatable thing for other parents to be able to see that and be like, well, that seems logical and cool, you know? And she also said in the interview that she doesn't feel like she's, like, you know, denying a part of herself. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but like, she doesn't feel like she's denying a part of herself by doing that for her kids. Like, she made that choice, you know, to live dual lives, I guess you could say, or dual personalities. I don't even know how you would phrase that, but whatever it is, I'm in support of it. I'm in support of everybody being whoever they want to be. You know, like, I'm not a person who gets mad when people say, women aren't the only ones that have periods. I mean, like, I could see knee-jerk how people get upset with that, but me personally, knowing all the people that I know, I thought about it and I was like, actually, I do know a couple men that have periods, you know. They identify as men, they're men, so, you know, people had to, you know, have trouble because she doesn't live 100% of the time as Flame. Well, I've talked about it before, and I'm not going to throw out a name. Anybody that's in Vegas knows who I'm talking about. There's a comedian here in Vegas that I like very much, that identifies as female, but never presents as female. So, or anybody that knows what presents mean, or doesn't know what presents mean, I should say, that means they never, what you would call, look like a female, you know. Instead, they still look male to the naked eye. But I know this person identifies as female, and all the comics on the scene know that this person identifies as female. So whether they get dressed up or not, which, like I said, they never do, or that I've ever seen, maybe at home or something, or when they're not on the comedy scene, but I've never seen them dressed like what you traditionally would think a female dresses like, or even do anything different with their hair or that kind of stuff, you know? But every single person on the Las Vegas comedy scene fully respects this person, fully respects their pronouns. I've never even heard, when that person wasn't around, anybody say anything different than she and her, and fully respect that. So, like, does that mean that because she doesn't dress the way you think a woman should dress, or doesn't present all the time, that now we shouldn't respect her? Because for me, I go case by case. So when it comes to this situation, a person like Flame can say anything that she wants to say, and I will respect what it is she wants to be addressed as. Like, she said that she identifies as he, she, we, which was also a fun joke that she made about, like, he cashes the checks, she makes the money, and we spend it. Like, that's what she said. And it was so funny to me. And if you look at the comments under her particular video, you'll see that there are so many people in those comments saying so many positive things. Things like, and if you look at the comments for yourself, like I said, I'm going to post the link below. If you look at the comments for yourself, you'll see comments like, I thought I could never get down with a trans person, and, you know, here's a trans person that's definitely cool. This person speaks sense. This person gets it. So, like, to me, it was a positive experience for trans people in general. Like, you say you want representation, and then you get representation, and then you don't like the representation you get. So really, what is it? Do you want the representation or not? Or do you want people that are only going to say things exactly the way that you want them said? Some people got mad because she said, I still enjoy my FTM, which is female to male, my lesbian studs. Uh, but if she's talking about the people that she has sex with and she still looks at them as lesbian studs and they're fine with that and they're still having sex with her, then how does that affect your life unless you're having sex with her? Now, if somebody she's having sex with got on the phone and was like, girl, well, I don't think FTMs usually talk that way, but so, I don't know how people talk. Like, you know, so, like, I have FTM friends, female to male, but there's one, because Jeffrey J is one of my FTM friends, and he has fun with the gay, because he identifies as gay, and so he has fun, like, girl and stuff like that. See, this is what makes it not fun. Like, even for me, being a gay man with so many trans friends, because so many people get sensitive about it, it's like, I'm not allowed to talk about the way that me and my friends joke or the way that me and my friends play or even the words that they use because you might get offended about it. Why would I do that? Like, this is why Flame didn't filter herself. Because you see me trying to filter myself, trying to be as cool as I can be to everybody's feelings. It makes it so I can't tell you the stories just the way I want to tell you the stories, which is what makes straight people not want to hang out with different types of people. You know, that's why so many straight people hang out with me, because I don't care what words you use. If something really bothers me, I will tell you that I, as an individual, don't like that. And anybody that knows me knows. People aren't just running around disrespecting me. People talk to me the way I want to be talked to. But that's because I respect them. I have fun with them. I have a sense of humor about myself. And when I ask them to not refer to me in a particular way, I'm not like, well, as a gay man, you shouldn't talk to me that way. I'm like, yeah, as an individual, that's not something I like. That's not something I go for. There's very few things I feel that way about, though, which some people think is me being self-hating or trying to satisfy other people, but it's not. It's just, I'm old. And that's the other thing I think with Flame, too, is she's old. And I don't mean that as an insult in any way. Like, we're old. Everybody I know is fucking old. Well, there's some young people on the comedy scene that I hang out with, but everybody I know is old. So once you get older, you start to care less about what other people think of you, and you're more secure in yourself. So when people are calling me self-hating, it's like, why? I'm self-hating because I don't get wrecked every time somebody says something I don't like. I'm self-hating because rather than talk as a member of a community, I talk to you as an individual. So if you say something that bothers me or refer to me in a way that I don't want to be referred to, I tell you, yeah, that's not something I'm cool with, or that's not the way you're going to talk to me. You know, if we're going to continue to be friends, like, I don't care what you say behind my back, because people are always going to talk behind your back. I can't control that, nor do I want to. But if you're going to be my friend, if we're going to be hanging out, then that's not something I'm comfortable with. So I'm really beginning to feel like all these rules are made for people that aren't assertive enough to just tell people on an individual basis, like, this is something I'm comfortable with, this is something I'm not comfortable with. Like, that's what I'm really starting to feel like, because these people are very vocal online, but I know some of the people that are a little more militant online, and they tend to really clam up when you see them in person. You know, they don't have that same strong personality. Like, there was this one person that, trans woman, that used to curse me out online. And I mean curse me out. Say the worst shit to me online. The worst. A lot of people in LA will know who I'm talking about, but would say the worst things to me online. So, if you guys know me, I'm a person who lives my life in the real world. So, I would say the worst shit back to this bitch online, and I could not wait to see her, because I was like, all right, let's see how this goes when we're in real life. And so I saw her in real life. Do you know she completely 100% clammed up, wouldn't even make eye contact with me, had to walk past where I was and like bunched her shoulders together and like tiptoed past, literally exactly what I did right there. That's what she did to get past me. So you're brave. That's brave is online. You talk all this shit. But then in real life, you're this different person. But then you have a person like Flame that says, this is me, this is what I say, you don't like it, you could catch these hands. And she even said that on the Breakfast Club interview, which again, like, it makes people get more of a like, oh, this bitch is for real about it. You know, it's such a good representation for me of what a trans person can be. You know, and especially when you're dealing with the Breakfast Club audience, which is a hip hop audience. So those are people that know, like, every once in a while, catch those hands, you know? It was just great to me. And like the proof is in the pudding. Because, like I told you, the comments all said how cool people thought Flame was. They were the comments like, I could rock with her. Like, check out the comments for yourself. Like I said, I'm linking it below. You don't gotta just take my word for it. But, okay, so it had 24,000 likes. 24,000 likes, 1.8 thousand dislikes on Flame Monroe's video. Then you had the other video, which was Malik Yoba with the super sensitive trans people that were educating us all on, like, this is the way you speak to trans people. And you don't say this, and you do say this, and meh, 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 meh. Okay. And I know that's me editorializing, but I ain't the only one that felt that way, because that video had 27,000 dislikes. 8.6 thousand likes. And if you read the comments below that one, it was a bunch of people like, yeah, I don't know what this BS is. I don't know why you had these people on. Like, all of the comments, check out that video too. I'm not linking that one below because I already did a video about that one, and I put the link in that one too. It's like me talking about the Malik Yoba interview. I put the link in the bottom of that one. So you find that video from a couple weeks ago, and you'll see that, like, it's exactly what I'm telling you. I'm not painting it a different way. Like, this is what it's saying. So when you're even talking about just effective speakers, and like I was talking to my friend Trey earlier today, and I do consider Trey a friend. I don't know him that well because we met through my friend Lisa, who I've known forever. I've known Lisa for as long as I've known Coco. Lisa and Coco are best friends. I used to hang out with them, you know, and when I say hang out, when I was hanging out with them, I don't mean like we just hung out every once in a while. I mean daily we were together. And that's the other thing that bothered me, because there was this guy from Phoenix. He's a trans man. Freddie Prince Charming is what he goes by. And like, he jumped on and started trying to make it, like, characterize me as just being hateful towards trans people and hateful to the trans community. And I was like, I've been supporting these girls since before transphobia was even a word. Like, there was a time specifically, and Coco jumped on and backed me up on this. There was a time when we got pulled over. I was being stupid. I admit it. We were driving by the cops. I yelled out, remember Rodney King, because I thought these cops were busy, and it was just a quick reminder to watch it with the violence. Well, that cop wrapped up what he was doing and came straight after us and pulled us over and immediately started misgendering Coco. This was before misgendering was a word. So immediately started referring to her as a man and whatever else, you know, and at that time there was nothing you could do about it, and nobody you could complain to, and nobody was writing blogs. This was forever ago. And he told me to refer to Coco as a male. He was like, why do you keep calling her she when that's actually a man? And the cops talking to me like this, literally saying these words exactly. And I just looked at Coco and I was like, well, because she's my friend. And then he was like, but you know, and I was like, whatever you say, you know, but I don't think she goes through all that to be referred to as a man. So I say she, I say her. And he told me, this is literally what he told me. He was like, you're going to refer to him as him, or I'm going to slam your face into the hood of this cruiser. Literally, that's what the cop told me. And I had just had my nose done. Let's keep it 100% real. And Coco will back that part up too. I had just had my nose done. I was still healing. I had like cream on my nose because like a piece of skin came off from the adhesive that they used to put the thing. And so, you know, and I just looked at the cop and I was like, well, I really prefer you not do that, officer, but I'm not referring to her as anything but her. And that's exactly what I told the cop. And then all of a sudden, his speaker went off like that was God, or his CB radio, whatever you would call that little thing they have. And I really do feel like that was God in progress right there, because all of a sudden something came over his radio and he was like, you guys are lucky I got to get out of here. And he just fucking took off. He jumped in his car and took off, literally just like that. And that's the way the story went. Coco and God are my witnesses. And that cop, wherever he is, probably misgendering someone to this day, to tell you the truth. But, you know, don't mischaracterize me as transphobic just because I say something that you don't agree with, or I feel like you shouldn't let people get in your feelings like that. Because that's not about me being transphobic. That's not about me not supporting you. That's about me saying, hey, don't let people get under your skin this much. Like, this shit doesn't matter that much. And yes, Flame has been around for years. Like I said, I heard about her years ago. Never crossed paths with her in my entire time doing stand-up. But she has 3 kids and we don't roll in the same circles. So that makes sense. You know, she probably was raising her kids and doing the things that she had to do as a single father, because she talked about not having help, you know, so she wasn't able to be out on the scene like I was. But I'm thankful to God that she's on the scene and she's still around, and that Tiffany Haddish gave her a shot on We Ready. And I'm not apologizing to anybody for that, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't think that's good representation. You can feel free to disagree with me if you want to, but it doesn't mean that I want to see the trans community erased. It doesn't mean that I don't respect your rights. I just think you need to be a little bit more thick-skinned when it comes to that kind of stuff, because people are always going to say stuff to hurt your feelings. You think people don't try to say stuff to hurt my feelings all the time on social media? Like, people love to talk to me about plastic surgery and say, people have said the worst things to me on social media. You think I'm going to kill myself over it? Or you think I'm going to be like, oh, people don't recognize me as a person? No, the people that matter recognize me as a person and recognize me as what I am and respect me and treat me with respect. So don't tell me that I'm self-hating or that I hate you because I don't agree with every thought that comes out of your head. Like, you know, people talk about getting misgendered, like people using the wrong pronouns. Well, you only want people to use one pronoun. If you look at the comments below Flame's video on, what's it called? She identifies as he, she, we, and a bunch of people put like he, she, we. So you can't get people to respect one pronoun that you want them to use. She got them respecting 3 pronouns at the same time that she wants them to use. You know why? Because she made learning fun. Because she did something that a bunch of trans activists have not been able to do so far. She made it human. She made it feel real. She made people see something that they could actually relate to. And she also took a minute out to give it up to the real women, you know, which people get mad with the term real women. And the only reason I'm using the word real women is because she used the term real women. And also because so many real women have told me that they don't like the term cisgender. You know, so that's another thing that trans people aren't necessarily respecting. Like, they came up with this politically correct term, cisgender, and genetic females, real women, however you want to put it, so your feelings don't get hurt, said that they don't like that term. But then trans people, the politically correct ones, still call them cisgender. Well, if it's okay for you to continue to call them a name they don't like, then why do you get so upset when they call you names you don't like? It's not fair for you to say, this is politically correct and this is not politically correct. Well, why is this one politically correct? Because it makes me feel better. Okay, well, maybe that word makes them feel better. I mean, political correctness really does depend on your politics if you think about it. If you think about the term political correctness, it really is dependent on your politics. So you may not share the same politics as that person. So they refer to you the way they refer to you. Well, no, that's transphobic. Okay, well, maybe you're being cisphobic right now. Because, and I know some people are going to get mad at me, but this is the space that I'm in. And this is what I'm tired of when it comes to the community in general. Because yes, I do have your backs. When it comes to all the important things, like, you know, the fact that we do need to address the murdered trans women, like how that has happened. But then also we have to accept that when you're talking to different people from different ethnicities and different cultures, within this same country, you do have to respect that that's something different too, which is something I addressed with Freddie Prinze Charming. And that's part of why he got mad, because I told him, I was like, you're white. Like, when you're talking to like a hip hop black community, you think you talk the same way to white people? No. These people will cuss you out. And in the most entertaining way, I do have to say. I do love the way black people cuss people out. I do. And Mexicans, I like when they go into Spanish and like really let you, because these beaners ain't politically correct. I'm going to tell you that right now. You really piss these beaners off. And that's one thing. When people try to talk to me like, you clearly hate your people, that's besides the point. I love them too. But I really am. Like, if you know me, my family, like my actual... I'm fucking beaner. I'm Mexican. So, you know, I know how we talk, and I know that we're not the most politically correct people. And it's one of the things I love, you know? It's like, stop trying to whitewash everybody is my main point to a lot of the trans people that are so upset. Because trans people of color that I've noticed have been upset about this are, like, there's a few of the really sensitive ones that maybe your parents didn't love you enough. I don't know what's going on. And I stand by that. Like, some of you, your parents didn't love you enough, so now you're mad at everybody else and you want everybody else to, like, apologize to you for what for the love your parents didn't give you. I really do feel that way, because otherwise, why do you care so much? Like, I grew up with uncles and aunts. I mean, that's what elders are supposed to do. They get on your fucking nerves. Flame Monroe is one of your elders. Whether you like it or not, I'm one of your elders. It's just what it is. We're older. We've been around for a while. We're going to say some shit you don't like. We're going to say it in ways you don't like. So get the fuck over it and just accept. If we're really a community, respect your fucking elders. Respect that maybe we've lived through different things, and we've learned that sometimes with society, if you give them a fucking spoonful of sugar before you put the pill in their fucking mouth, they'll take the fucking sugar and the fucking pill. You know, and that's what you want them to take, is the fucking pill, right? Anyway, I'm sorry to get so upset, but people want me to care about the LGBT community. So I'm showing you, this is my version of caring. This is me just giving you fucking real talk. Like, doing like, get out of your fucking feelings and see how, yeah, maybe your little bitch feelings got hurt. And yes, I said your little bitch feelings got hurt. But at the same time, a lot of people were won over by this particular person that said things in a very entertaining way, which is the point of comedy. Like, being entertaining, that's the reason you're on radio. That other shit that happened with the Malik Yoba interview, I would like for you to start off by apologizing for the trauma that you've caused to my community. Bitch, nobody wants to fucking hear it. Nobody wants to fucking do that. You start a conversation off that way with anybody, you're getting cussed the fuck out. You're lucky Charlemagne and DJ Envy and Angela Yee were all nice enough to put up with you with that shit. Being like, I would like for you to apologize. And yes, I do agree. Malik Yoba, he did an interview. He was there to sell books. He did an interview where he was going to tell us that he was attracted to trans women. So great. Say you're fucking attracted to trans women. Just say you're attracted to trans women. Don't try to fucking make it like, you know, I'm actually attracted to all sorts of beautiful women. And bitch, shut up. That's not you being proud. That's self-hating to me. It's trying to fucking clean it up. I'm trans attracted. No. Just fucking admit where you are. I'm a faggot. I like fags. That's what I like. I like gay men. The whole spectrum of them, to tell you the truth. From the fucking femboys to the most masculine. I'm fucking attracted to all of it. Except for there was this drag queen. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, there was this drag queen. And that wasn't even about her being a drag. Because I fucked drag queens before too. One in particular, I couldn't name a name. But it was a disgusting situation when it came down to it. And bitch had a shitty kitty. But that's besides the point. Let's not. This isn't about me and my history. Anyway, yeah, but this one drag queen. And it wasn't because she was in drag. Technically, he was cute. You know. He was dressed as a boy when I saw him, and I didn't have a problem with that. But I feel like drag queens know everybody, and then I know a lot of people, and I just felt like it was shitting where I eat. You know, I was too close to, like, work or something. You know what I mean? Like that kind. Anyway, But yeah, so like if Malik was going to go on and say, like, that's who they should have been mad at, and not just because of the other stuff that he's been accused of or whatever, because that's, still debatable and there hasn't been proof or whatever. But, like the thing with the Malik Yoba interview is if you're going to come on and say, I'm proud that, I'm attracted to trans women, because to me, that is kind of its own thing, like there's nothing wrong with saying specifically, like, this is what I'm attracted to. I like a beautiful woman's body and a fucking dick on, like, great. That's what we need more of, so these girls can stop feeling like a fucking fetish and be accepted for being something special. It is something special, like... That's what gets me about people saying I'm hateful, because I see all of this as something special. Like if you like a man that happens to have a vagina, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you like. Or if you like somebody that looks like a man and just happens to have a vagina, or however you see it in your head, like, who fucking cares? If you really love yourself, if you're really proud of yourself, then stop getting mad at the way other people look at you. At the end of the day, other people don't matter. What matters is the people around you. And yeah, the more people, when it comes to rights and stuff like that, the more people you have seeing you as human beings instead of this machine that's trying to run them over and tell them all the words that they're going to use and all the new terms they're going to learn and the new words they're going to identify. The minute you start to like break a lot of that shit down and start to let people just learn on their own, you're going to see that people are going to respect you. People are going to talk to you the way that you want to be talked to. They're going to give you what you want. And I guarantee you that. I lived that life. That's why I tell people, like today I saw my friend Trey laugh at a comment where I told Freddie Prinze Jr. that I've done way more to help LGBT than he has. And that's 100% true. I perform in redneck clubs and I teach people, yes, you can actually like an LGBT person. You can like a gay man. You like me. And I don't say that in those words like that, but they just like me. And then they follow me online, which is a lot of, like, people, my online fans, a lot of them will tell you straight up, yeah, I used to be homophobic, or I didn't think gay people were cool. Then I saw Ty, and so then they like me, then they're more open to other gay people. And then people will bring up, oh, you voted for Donald Trump. Yes, the fuck I did. And one day we can talk about that. And that's something else that Flame Monroe has mentioned in interviews. Because I'd done my research. Once Flame Monroe really popped like this and started showing up everywhere, it was like, yes, I've been waiting for you. Now let me learn about you. So I've been watching her Coffee Time on YouTube, which you guys should check out. It's fucking great. She mentioned that she had a friend that voted for Donald Trump and they talked about it and she told him how stupid he was and whatever else. You think I couldn't have gotten in my feelings over that and been like, well, I voted for Donald Trump. How's this bitch going to talk about people that vote for Donald Trump? No! She has a right to that opinion. And one day I'm going to meet her in real life. I guarantee you I'll meet her in real life because I'm friends with Tiffany Haddish too and Ida Rodriguez. April Macy I'm friends with too, but I know her least of all. And Shantae Wayans, that's my friend. Lesbian comic Shantae Wayans, who is also on We Ready. So yeah, we had, and then Coco and Lisa, and so I'll meet Flame one day, and she can tell me whatever she wants. We'll have a good conversation, and she can disagree and I can disagree, and that's the kind of bitches you need in your life, is people that disagree with you, so you don't ever start to think you're fucking right, so you're like, that's it. Different people feel different ways. Maybe your parents really didn't love you as much as you thought if you can't take people disagreeing, because I remember my mom used to tell me, and I'll wrap up with this, I know it's been a long one, but I think it's been worth it. And I think the people that really love me are going to fucking watch it and get what it is I'm saying. And I don't even care if this video gets demonetized for all the cussing and stuff like that. I needed to talk to you guys like actual friends. And this is me talking like an actual friend. And when I say you guys, I mean all of you. Gay, straight, transgender, everybody. This is me. If you want to know me, this is like a real conversation with me, except for you're not here to butt in. But yeah, my mom used to always tell me when I was little, because I would come home from like, school or whatever like that. And I'd be mad at somebody once in a while, and I'd tell my mom the story. And I'd be like, yeah, and then they said this, and then I said this, and then this happened, and then that happened. And my mom would think about it. And this wasn't all the time. She was also on the other side too sometimes. But she would look at me and she'd think about it, and she'd be like, I think you're wrong. I'd be hot. I'd be so mad when she would tell me I was wrong. And she would like break down why she thought I was wrong. And I was little, and this was the generation, like now, you can cuss your parents out, or a lot of you do. In my generation, as growing up Mexican and stuff, no, you weren't cussing your mom out. You had to listen. So she would tell me why she thought I was wrong. So now I have to listen to you give me the reasons I'm wrong. Not only are you telling me I'm wrong, you give me the reasons that I'm wrong. Oh, frustrating, very frustrating when I was little. I remember hating her when she would be talking to me. I'd look at her and just be like, this lady has a lot of nerve. But, I have to listen, and I have to keep straight face because I'm talking to mom, or mom's talking to me, more important. And so I stay quiet, and she could tell that I was angry. And then she'd say, and you don't have to like it. I'm just telling you. It's what it is. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.